Dives. Did he get in? Yes! Touchdown! Jeff Kelly! Kansas State leads 40-30. The fans are storming the field, but Jeff Kelly picked up the loose football and ran it in for 6 more points for Kansas State. They lead 40-30. You know, it's been said that K-State would never beat Nebraska. It was unthinkable, unimaginable. It's been 29 years that K-State has have to watch the Red fans go home with a win. Well, today the color of choice is purple as K-State has beaten Nebraska for the first time in Manhattan since 1959. They win it 40-30, and it is party time in Manhattan.
Yeah!
I think it was huge, you know, not only just for the program and for myself personally, I guess, you know, for 5 years having never beat him and then finally did it. I think it was just so special that you knew everybody in the whole stands, all the people that played, you know, from 30 years ago up to my brother playing, all those guys that wanted to do it and worked to do it and just hadn't been able to do it. I think when we finally won that one, it was just special. It was a huge chip off everybody's shoulders, and it's fun to know that everybody was enjoying it just as much, not only us as players, but to know all the fans, all the secretaries in the buildings, everybody. It meant as much to them as it did to us, so it was just a special day.
Get ready to roll! 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 Get ready to roll!
The final numbers were staggering. K-State outgained the Huskers 512 to 351, and thus served notice that the turnaround was complete. K-State was #1, having knocked off Nebraska for the first time in 30 years. The Wildcats wrapped up their perfect 11-0 regular season the following week with a 31-25 win at nationally ranked Missouri. With their emotional tank running low, the gutty Wildcats rallied for the second straight week, this time in front of the largest crowd to watch a Missouri home game in 14 years. The opening was vintage K-State. The Cats broke on top 10-0 with this 10-yard touchdown catch by Gavin Parise and a 48-yard field goal by Martin Gramatica. But the Tigers answered right back, scoring twice in the final minutes of the first half to take a 13-10 halftime lead. But the Wildcats seized control in the third quarter with touchdown runs by Michael Bishop and Frank Murphy.
Bishop turns, hands it off to Marlon Charles off the left side, has a bit of a run, bit of a hole. Marlon at the 40, 45, Charles on the free, 50, down to the 40, 35, 30, Charles 25, 20, 15, stumbling down the sideline. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Twins to the near side. Goolsby and Charles. Bishop keeps it himself. Touchdown, Kansas State. Off the right side, Michael Bishop's 22nd career touchdown rushing the football, and the Wildcats are back in front, 16-13. On the field, the punt for Missouri is Jared Gilpin, his second punt of the day. He's back at his goal line. A low kick. It's going to bounce near midfield. David Allen scoops it up at the Kansas State 45. Gets upfield to midfield. Has a hole. 45-40. Out on 35-30. Trying to get around the punter to the 20. Gets hit and dropped to the 11-yard line. K-State right back in business after Allen's punt return down to the Mizzou 11. High formation behind Bishop. Frank Murphy, the eye back. Twins to the far side. Bishop turns, runs into Goolsby, pitches it out to Murphy. Murphy's got some running room to the 10. Murphy to the 5, dives, touchdown, Kansas State. Frank Murphy gets in there from 9 yards out of the Wildcats, lead 23-13.
Missouri closed the gap to 24-22 in the fourth quarter. But another Murphy touchdown run preserved K-State's perfect season.
Under center, hands it off Murphy, right side, gets hit at the goal line, loses the football, and gets it back for a touchdown for Kansas State. It went pop free from Frank Murphy, but he alertly gets up on it, dives on the ball in the end zone, and K-State now has a lead of 30-22.
Yeah, it was huge. You know, it was the whole, as the year went on, each win, you know, makes it that much trickier. You come down and you gotta keep winning games. You want to go undefeated, and that's not an easy thing to do these days at all. Every team's shooting for you, aiming at you. And when we went in there, Missouri played a great game, and we did some good things. We did a lot of bad things, but we came out with the win. We were able to go home knowing we'd win 11-0, and that was a huge, huge triumph for us.
K-State does not have to take another snap, and the Wildcats are going to complete their first ever undefeated regular season in college football. The Cats win a hard-fought win today over the Missouri Tigers, 31-25. K-State now has won 19 straight games. They've won 15 straight conference games, and they have won 6 straight over the Missouri Tigers. K-State 31, Mizzou 25.
We've got, you know, a lot of guys returning. You know, we're losing some great seniors this year, but guys will be able to step up. And, you know, I think that next year we're going to have the goal to be, you know, the best team that's ever played at Kansas State and nothing less. So, you know, we just got to work to achieve that, and we're going to have to work hard. But I think we can do it with just diligence and just hard work.
I think in the future it's just going to keep going up. This group of guys that got coming back are going to be a special bunch, and a lot of people want to try to doubt them, but they're going to come back harder than ever. They got a lot to prove, and I think this program's going to continue to just step up.
K-State's dominance on the field in 1998 was well recognized with a flood of postseason honors. For the 3rd time in his 10 seasons at K-State, Bill Snyder was named National Coach of the Year, this time receiving the prestigious Bear Bryant Award from the Football Writers Association of America and the Bobby Dodd Award, along with the honor from the Walter Camp Foundation. The All-American traditions established under Snyder also continued in 1998 with 4 Wildcats earning first-team All-America honors. Heading the list, K-State's incomparable quarterback Michael Bishop. Bishop simply did it all in 1998, stamping himself as perhaps the most dynamic player in all of college football. He finished as the runner-up to Ricky Williams in the voting for the Heisman Trophy and won the Davy O'Brien National Quarterback Award. Linebacker Jeff Kelly earned first-team All-America honors from the Football Writers and the Football News. His dominant play throughout the season also earned runner-up honors in the voting for the Bronco Nagurski Award, given annually to the nation's top defensive player. K-State's special teams were truly that. Place kicker Martin Gramatica earned first-team All-America honors for the 2nd year in a row and finished his career as K-State's all-time leading scorer. And sophomore David Allen electrified KSU Stadium and the nation with his flair for the spectacular. 4 punt returns for touchdowns en route to first-team All-America honors. Those 4 were joined by 6 other Wildcats as first-team All-Big 12 selections. Wide receiver Jardell McDonald, who led the conference with 75 catches and set a K-State single-season mark with 1,092 receiving yards. Offensive tackle Ryan Young, captain of the offensive line that allowed only 14 sacks on the season. Defensive end Darren Howard, K-State's pass rushing specialist who led the conference with 10.5 sacks. Linebacker Mark Semino, who led one of the nation's top defensive units with 95 tackles. Strong safety Jared Cooper, a hard-hitting safety with a nose for the ball. And Lamar Chapman, K-State's do-it-all safety in the defensive backfield. While a total of 10 Wildcats received first-team all-conference honors, K-State wasn't done yet. 9 more Wildcats were named all-conference, giving the Wildcats an incredible 19 players on the All-Big 12 team. Second-team honors went to wide receiver Aaron Lockett, K-State's all-time freshman receiver. Offensive guard Jeremy Martin, a key figure on K-State's O-line for the past 4 seasons. Linebacker Travis Oakes, the veteran, heady leader of the Wildcat defense. and defensive tackle Damian McIntosh, perhaps the most versatile lineman in all of college football. Honorable mention honors went to running back Eric Hickson, K-State's all-time leading rusher, defensive end Joe Bob Clements, and KSU Stadium all-time favorite fullback Brian Goolsby, the Big 12's most feared blocking back. Tight end Justin Swift, a prime touchdown target in many of K-State's biggest wins, and talented sophomore center Randall Cummins.